Hi, this is Carolyn, and I'm here with Erin and Rachel, and we're going to discuss tennis insecurities. And this may sound a little strange, but I know I have a bunch of them. I know I never feel completely comfortable out on the tennis court. I feel like I don't really know what I'm doing. I love playing adult tennis, but there's a part of me that feels like, oh, if I don't play well, am I going to be put on court 3? Or if I don't play well in one match, am I ever going to get to play with that partner again? So I just always feel a little insecure out there, I think, the entire time I am playing. Do you guys feel that way at all?
Yes, I think it definitely comes with learning a sport in your adult years. I feel that not having, I don't want to say that I don't have muscle memory, because I do have muscle memory, but I do feel like if I had learned as a child, it would just be that my strokes would be a little cleaner. And so that would help me feel more confident. And so as a whole, I feel that I am a confident tennis player, but there are certain things, like you mentioned. If I had a bad match with someone one day, of course, I'm going to be insecure as to whether they want to play with me again. Yeah. So, and I think that's a normal feeling. Erin, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah. I actually, when I started out, I had some friends that I knew even prior to playing tennis that was at our club. Cause I think I was, there a couple of years before I picked up a tennis racket. And I actually felt, not as confident playing with a friend because I didn't want to let that friend down.
Yes.
Right. And that goes with really any doubles partner, but maybe even someone that you like that you would hang out with, after tennis, like a true friend, like you don't want to let that person down. So that for sure. But I think a lot of it goes with, like you said, like if I have a bad match, whether it be singles or doubles, am I going to be asked to play? Like there have been lineups that have come out and I'm like, oh, I wonder why I'm not in that lineup. I was available. Right.
Yes,
so a lot of people think if you're available, you're going to be put in the match, but we have a roster of like 15, and sometimes we only need 8 or 6 people on a court. And Rachel and I as captains, we know, depends on people's availability in the current match and in the future matches, and maybe how many they've already played. It has to do with who we think they might partner well with and what that partner's availability is. And so being left off a lineup doesn't speak to someone's ability or inability to play, to play or win or whatever. It has to do with so many other factors. We do let it get in our heads a little bit. If you think like, oh, that captain played me against the weakest team in our flight, they must think I'm not as good of a player, So a lot of it is just kind of head games that we play with ourselves for sure. And then other stuff, Carolyn, I do totally understand what you're saying about, you didn't start till you were an adult, and there's, you just question yourself a lot of times. And if you're doing the right things and that sort of thing, but I kind of am a little bit more lax about it because I think I've said this 100 times to both of you when we're playing. If I do something, like I know a lot of times what to do, I just can't execute it. But I literally will make a mistake and look at my partner and be like, that is why I'm this level. Like, that's why I'm not a pro.
Yes.
Like I can barely feed a ball, or like, there's just, I don't know. I think, I've become a good player over the years, but a lot of that I feel like has to just do with intuition and being athletic and not necessarily being like a smart, knowing always what to do or being able to execute kind of tennis player.
Right. And I agree 100% with you, Erin, on the getting left off the lineup or not getting paired with a partner that you think you should be paired with to succeed. It is very easy to take that sort of stuff personally, and then that translates into you being insecure on the court. I captain, and I know all the nuances, but on teams that I don't captain, I still feel insecure about that. Yeah. So it has got to be a common feeling amongst all adult tennis players, and it's something that you just have to get over, quite frankly.
We shouldn't be insecure. No one out there is that great.
Right.
I know that. But there is, it's like, oh, okay, you put me on court 3 with this person. Did you not think I should be on a different court? I mean, I think that the way it's set up is like, okay, court 1, court 2, and then even with singles or doubles, court 1, court 2, court 3.
Yeah.
And there may be, I mean, as captains, do you guys have strategy involved? You may be flipping the court or thinking about other people that you're playing.
Well,
there may be more to it.
So what has, and this may be transferring into a lineup chat again, but I will say that more recently, since my teams for the past few years have been so incredibly deep, I now do my lineups based on what particular personalities may be on the particular courts and how my players will play with opponents of those personalities, because our skill level is pretty much all the same, but our ability to deal with people in a certain way differs. So not to get off on a tangent, but again, that, that's not really an insecurity issue, it's a personality issue.
Yeah. Or someone's hitting style, right, Rachel? Like
exactly.
if you know someone from another club is most likely their court 1 player and they hit whatever kind of ball, a topspin, or they lob all the time, or they hit soft, or whatever it is, you might not want to put someone against them from our team that doesn't necessarily like that kind of tennis.
Exactly.
Yeah. But again, it goes down to like, I never thought, it is funny because it's like you have this you think it's a hierarchy of lineups, like court 1, like they do that in high school, right? It's like 6 courts of singles and 3 courts of doubles or something. And it's like, everyone always says like, oh, my kid plays for this school. And well, what court are they?
Yes.
It's like, well, there's 6. Oh, so your child isn't that good. It's not that. It's like, there's just some people that, are in that sense, those kids really have to feel insecure because it really is a hierarchy. In ours, it's like court 1 or court 2. We had a couple years ago when our teams went to states that we had interchangeable. We literally, my friend and I literally would be like, do you want court 1 or court 2 today? We knew both, both of us could win either court on any given day.
Exactly.
And we were just, it was before I got bumped up. We were just confident. And that wasn't like we're full of ourselves. We just felt confident enough where we could win our singles courts. And then we had no court 3 on that team. So it was weird to put people on court 3.
Exactly.
We had all court 1 and court 2 players, and so you just kind of have to be like, okay, well, sorry, you get court 3 today.
But you never have to apologize for putting me on court 3.
I know, but court 1 all day.
But it is something that you think about, or if you get left out of a lineup, especially. I feel like that makes you, it's a playoff match and you're not chosen to play. And then it goes through my head. I'm like, have I not been playing well? And it may not be that. It may be that, somebody is playing really well with someone else. And it's not me not playing well. It's that, hey, these 2 people are a better fit that day. But that definitely goes through my mind when I'm not played in a specific match.
Oh, yeah. And I'm sure Rachel and I don't want to ever make someone feel insecure by having to make those decisions. But unfortunately, as a captain, you have to make those decisions
exactly.
for other people. Yeah. And it can't, I said this a long time ago. It cannot be a democracy. We can't have everybody's input on it because whoever, thinks one thing should happen. And then if the captain goes against that person, then, then they're upset. So.
Yeah. And I really feel like none of us should feel insecure because we're all at the same level. No one's that much better than anyone else. But there is, I think tennis does, at least for me, I never know how I'm going to play day to day.
Yeah.
Like I have days where I just feel great. And then other days where it really is, I do not feel great out there. And it's just very different. And because it's not a team sport, if you have a day where you're not feeling great or you're playing someone that's really good, it can be very difficult.
Yeah. Hey, have either of you had a pro or someone that you've taken lessons from made you, and I hate to say made you feel insecure, but there were a few times that really stick out in my mind that I'd had lessons, with a certain pro, and they've said something about my game. And now I'm fixated on like that bad part of my game. Like for instance, my volleys aren't great. And I had a pro that I took lessons from that said like, I'm always breaking my wrist. I'm always letting my racket drop. And now like, you'd think I'd be fixated on it to fix it, but I'm fixated on it. Like, that's just such a bad habit. And I'm not, like sometimes I'm like, I'm just a bad net player. Like I feel insecure playing at the net because he didn't mean to make me feel that way. He was like trying to correct my correct my technique. But,
right.
And then I had another pro years ago. I tell the story a lot. I was a 2-5 and I was playing singles in a playoff match. And I came out so like excited, like just like a little bit crazy. And I was warming up and I was like hitting everything really hard and not just kind of like zen, and he was like, you need to calm down. So what happened was in the match, I started off like being calm and my game wasn't working. And I was like, I had to go back to that kind of crazy hitting hard and, running around and like, I had to get my energy up. But I just remember he kind of killed my first set because he was like, you need to like be different, And so it made me feel like, oh my gosh, I'm probably looking like and acting like a crazy person. I need to change what I'm doing. And frankly, it was working for me.
Yeah, that is not good. And after this podcast is over, I would like to talk to you about that.
Thanks very much to Rachel and Erin for discussing this. I really like the point that Rachel made, that it's completely normal to feel insecure after you have a bad match with someone as to whether or not they want to play with you again, but that we really shouldn't worry about it. I also like Erin's point that if we didn't have any insecurities in our playing ability, then we'd probably be much higher rated than we are. And the reason we make mistakes is because we are the level we are and we're not professionals. We hope you check out our website, which is secondservepodcast.com. Thanks so much for listening and hope to see you on the courts soon.